We hear from so many business owners who are struggling with high turnover, low morale, and teams that just aren't clicking.
And so often the real problem isn't the product, the service, or the people. It's the culture.
And that's why we would love to bring the Business Fix to your next event or webinar to help transform your team and to push your business forward.
Ready to fix your culture and unlock your team's potential? Visit us at businessfixpodcast.com and click connect with us to learn more.
I know I got into business because I wanted all the time off in the world.
Yeah, sure.
The
Instagram stories must have really believed him.
Yeah. It hasn't quite worked out that way yet.
Oh.
So let's talk about work-life balance this week. Does that sound like a fun topic?
Oh, it sounds great.
Stay tuned. She's the CEO.
He's the marketing and operations guy.
If it's broken, you need
the Business Fix.
Do you do anything outside of work or no?
Yeah. We just talked about community impact last week. I can tell I do a lot of things.
Yeah, so you do. But those are all kind of work related.
I mean, I guess if you really want to make them. But yeah, I do other things.
But they don't feel like work, do they?
No.
That to me is the key thing that I think that we're gonna arrive to with this. Yeah. There's zero work-life balance. There is a work-life blend.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. A recent study found that 60% of entrepreneurs admit to working more than 50 hours per week. 20% report to working more than 80 hours a week.
The other 20% are liars.
I was about to say those bunch of amateurs.
Yeah.
Look, we joke about this. We did an episode before about business and busyness, what is actually doing the right things, but how do we get to a point where there is some work-life blend and you're enjoying things rather like you're working with your business, not for your business. You're working towards something rather than just trying to make sure your pants aren't on fire.
Yeah.
The first to arrive, the last to leave.
Yeah.
That's so many business owners. They like, I worked 90 hours last week. They'll boast. Great. Then why don't you make more money?
Ouch.
Episode 16.
And your family hates you.
Right. Well, maybe that's why they're working so much is because their family hates them.
It's true. That's a possibility.
That's happened. May or may not be speaking from experience on that one. Episode 16, we talked about business or busyness. Yeah. You have to be everywhere at once. It's unsustainable, but you do it anyways. Being everywhere at once is the limiter. Yeah. You're the visionary person. You see far down the road.
Yeah.
I know you have an operations side too.
Very, yeah.
But you see the big picture, you see down the road. You talked about like how you don't change directions 52 times in a week.
No, people hate you when you do that.
Correct. That once again sounds like experience.
It is.
To me, what are some of the big picture things that you have done and that you would suggest other people do in order to balance some of this like work life, like, hey, I'll actually be at the softball game or I'll show up to the whatever event.
And not be on my phone. Because that's the other thing.
Oh, God, I hate that.
I'll show up, but I'm not really there. Why are you even trying? Why are you even showing up?
I hate that when I see that because like the kid sees like it, and it doesn't matter. I see people all the time that are just sitting there on their phones. And the thing that I'll say about that real quick that is tough to distinguish, are they doing something or are they just mindlessly scrolling because they think I'm annoying?
It might be both.
Could be. That's why I've seen you pick up your phone a couple of times. How have you gotten some balance?
So first, I want to say I hate the phrase work-life balance because it implies that there's this constant tug of war between your business and your life.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
It's this constant tug of war. And so and one always comes at the cost of the other. And so for me, I don't believe in that. I believe in work-life harmony. So your business supports your life and your life energizes your business. So it is full circle.
And everything just hums along.
That's not true.
Harmony.
I mean,
hums.
ideally, that's what you want to get to. And there may be some moments where you're like, ooh, that doesn't sound right. I need to change things. But That only happens, work-life harmony only truly happens when the business doesn't revolve completely around you.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few things that you need to have. So, visionary leaders, they build companies that can function and thrive without their constant presence. So you do that with clear company vision. Where are we going? And you do that also with clear values. Who are we while we're doing the things, getting to where we need to go? Because if you have your clear company vision and your values, you have something that your team can align with, even when you're not in the room. So that's number one. The next that you need to do, business owner who got into business because you didn't like being told what to do, but you want to do everything yourself, is you need a culture of. Do you feel like I should have said something to you, Josh?
Well, I think you said it to both of us.
Yeah, I did.
Because I know you well enough to know
Control
you said
yes.
this to both of us.
Yes. So you got to build a culture of trust and autonomy. So your people need to feel empowered to own their outcomes, not just follow orders. So you've got to be able to, and you've got to trust them. So work-life harmony isn't about escaping. It's about building a business that doesn't break when you step back. And that is a real flex. And then you can talk about, when you're not at work, what does it look like at home? When you are at home, what does it look like when you're not doing work at home? So I think those are parts of the conversation. The first part of the conversation is, what do I do to make sure that I can delegate so that I am not working 24 hours a day? After that, it's when I don't have to work the 24 hours a day, what do I do to make sure that I stay present? Because if we've created the habit of being constantly busy, constantly in our business, that's constantly what we're thinking about. Not everybody in our family cares and loves that business the way that we do. And when we're home, they want us to be home.
For you, it is your baby.
It is.
For other people in the family, it is the stepchild.
It is, or it's the sibling they didn't ask for.
Oh,
so
I like that.
That's something, especially in family business, when people talk about transitioning the business to the next generation, you have to build a business that your kids didn't hate seeing you in. So if you weren't at the soccer games, the musicals, the performances, you didn't make it to take pictures for homecoming because you were too busy dealing with that client need on a Saturday, there's a problem. They're not going to want to do anything in that business. You're like, why don't you come work for me? Or why don't you come work together? We'll spend all this time together. Why? Because you're miserable and I don't want to be miserable with you. So if you want your kids to have a relationship with your business, potentially like working in it, you have to have a healthy relationship with it as well. It can't be the sibling that they hated.
No, and it's funny you say that, because one of the other things that I see with that too is if they see you constantly stressed about the business,
they don't want to deal with it either.
No. If you hate it, why do you think I'm going to like it?
Exactly. And it's not like, sometimes in sales, when I was growing up with my dad and they were building the business, it was like, well, we get to go to this event because we run this business. And it was like, but I still have to behave and I still have to talk to these people. So it's like,
I'm not allowed to touch anything.
No, it's like, what do you expose your kids to, and letting them see the different parts of the business, but not just, they think, well, I get to go to this football game because my dad sells insurance, as opposed to my dad works 80 hours a week and we're going to this football game because it's another way for him to work 4 hours with other people to sell more insurance. Like you've got to be able to have a healthy perspective and have good boundaries with your kids, good communication.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. You did not start your business so you could spend your days buried in HR paperwork or Googling how to handle employee drama.
That's why I started Clarity HR. We're your fractional HR team, giving you real people, real support, and real solutions. Whether it's compliance headaches, hiring struggles, or just needing someone to take the people stuff off your plate, we've got your back.
So if you're ready to stop using duct tape and hope as your HR strategy
and finally get some peace of mind, head over to clarityhr.com. That's clarityhr.com. Simple, clear, and here to help.
I'll give you a few seconds to go to the website while we get ready to get back to the show. That's a lot.
It is.
I feel like we should just stop.
We could, but I don't think that's good because we're talking about operations, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you mentioned setting things up so you can walk away. And so you can, it's still the machine's running.
Yeah.
Because so much of it, I've still guilty of some pieces of this where I'm like, hey, look, I'm going to do the thing because it's just a 5-minute thing that I'm going to do. And I'm going to do the other thing because, while I'm here, I'm just going to do the other thing. Yeah. 5.5 hours later, that's a lot of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Building things that, like I said, that can just run without you is huge. Mm-hmm. The problem is why so many people avoid it because it takes that upfront investment.
It does.
It is. And what sucks is if you're so busy, if you're working 80, 90 hours, mm-hmm. you have to take 1 week and spend 100 hours.
Yeah.
You're like, do I have that in the tank? Well, if you spend that 100 hours the 1 week, it's like every other investment. You're going to get 10 hours back a week for every week for here on out. So you had to spend an extra 20 hours 1 week. But if you get 10 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 10 hours a week, 10 hours, it doesn't take many 10 hours a week to get that back. So you need to make sure that you're doing that. For me, imagine this. It is standard operating procedures. Big surprise. Yeah. I know. The shocked look on your face is
absolutely flabbergasted.
Right. No, that's Chrissy's stunned with silence. The thing that so many people get wrong with this though is they are like, okay, we do X, Y, Z, A, B, done. Mm-hmm. They never write down why the hell they're doing the thing.
Yeah.
What is the goal of the thing? Not just step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to equate it to is a model kit, a mm-hmm. model car, model airplane, any sort of model. They show you the finished product on the outside of the box. Yeah. Like, here's what it's going to look like. If they just showed you the racks that have all the little plastic pieces in there, like if the box was clear,
you wouldn't do anything. Yeah.
No, you would look at it and be like, well, what the hell's this?
That's dumb.
I don't want to look at all these pieces. I don't want to do anything with this.
Yeah.
Especially if part of it's assembled by one person, another part of it's assembled by another person. Like this person does the wings, that person does the fuselage, this person does the cockpit and the glass pieces on it, or someone else puts wheels and tires on it. If everyone's doing different pieces to it, they all look at it like, well, why do I want to do this?
Yeah.
Start with the why. If you tell people, hey, here's why we're doing this. Here should be the end result. Yeah. Here's where we want to get to. It makes it so much easier to get there.
It does.
It also makes it so it's repeatable. Holy cow. Because guess what? You want people to be able to make the same thing over and over and over again. Once again, without you there to be like, oh, you didn't do the thing with the thing. Start with the first once you have that, start with your first process.
Yep.
Do not say, hey, I'm going to write everything down. Nope. What is step 1?
Yeah.
That's all you should look at. Is that tough as the visionary? You're like, hey, here's the end thing. Just build it.
Yeah, sometimes. I just want you to do it. It's gotten harder for me. When I was early in my career, I could really handle all of the steps. But as I've leveled up and I've worked more on my visionary muscle, now I'm like, I just want you to do the thing.
Do the thing.
It takes steps. And I'm like, I just want you to do the thing.
Right. Can you have that done by 3?
That takes 3 months. Like, oh, okay.
Okay, so Sunday.
Yes. And that also doesn't mean because they're moving at a pace, you don't take it back.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
no, we've all done that. Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say is the thing that I do is when like there's times where we get in binds with editing. We have, I believe it's going to be 32 podcast recordings that are going into editing this week.
Okay. It's all hands on deck.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are days like I talked to one of our editors and I'm like, what do you need from me? And mm-hmm. she's like, I'm good. And I'm like, are all the deadlines good? She's like, yeah, at this point, yes. So I'm checking in to make sure that we are good on that. And once again, we've programmed in some flexibility in that. So she can do her thing without me.
Yeah.
Once again, it's about her being able to do the thing without me so I can focus on other things, like riding motorcycles.
Yeah.
or not upsetting my family.
Exactly. Actually being at the dinner you said you were going to be at, actually showing up and being present in the family meeting. Yes.
Correct. Not staring into the nachos, wondering how the process is working.
Yeah. Because other people also are going to ask you, how was your day? What's going on? You have to be able to engage with people too. You don't get to just show up as the shell of a human that you are because you're so tired from running your business. You actually have to have more energy when you show up at home than you do when you show up at work.
Right.
That's a challenge. But
that's what they make bed for.
Yes.
Go to bed. Actually sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I always tell people is when you start going through it, one of the easiest ways that we have found is just write things down. Go painfully slow.
Yeah.
Do the thing, go painfully slow, and write down every single step you make. You can go back and erase stuff later and be like, oh, we don't need this and we don't need to be this descriptive, but put that in. Yeah. This is all about, once again, what's so tough with this is I am telling you right now how to spend more time in your business with the goal of spending less time in your business.
And I promise you'll spend less if you do this.
Yes, 100%. The other thing, use simple language. Someone should be able to walk through the door and know what they're doing. If they have a basic understanding of editing or HR or whatever it is, they should be able to walk in the door. It's going to be slow for them.
Yeah.
Because the first time doing it with your process, but they should be able to know if I told you that the transmogrifier needs to squabulate or else it's not going to inconominate, you're going to be like,
where's the glossary for this SOP?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I need a thesaurus.
Yep.
Or you're just going to spend your entire time on. And I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. The other thing that I'm going to tell you to do too, and this is one of the most important ones, get feedback.
Oh, powerful.
Just because you understand that standard operating procedure doesn't mean that anyone else in your business does.
No. Ask them to explain it to you. Once you've explained it to them, ask them to explain it to you. We've talked about this in training and communication expectations.
I like that.
Yeah. You have to remember, people learn differently. Not everybody's going to learn from reading your SOP. Some of them are going to learn by doing. Some of them are going to learn by having it either read or spoken to them or dialoguing. So you've got to make sure that you're asking people, how do you learn? And then you're giving it to them in a way that they can understand it. And if your SOP is complicated or requires a whole bunch of steps and it's all electronic, film it.
Film it or use some sort of task management program. Both of them. Yeah.
Or both, because both can be powerful.
We have actually done 3 videos this year for companies that one was for a company that sends out mailers.
Okay.
And first off, if you ever watch an envelope stuffing machine go at 3 envelopes per second.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that involves some precision to set up. How do you set that up? So we filmed, they paid a lot of money for us to film that.
Yeah.
So that way all their new employees come in and they see the same process, the same procedure, the same thing. And they know this is how this is done.
Good investment.
Oh, 100%. Because once again, the owner knows how to do it.
Yeah.
But this allows them to not have to do that.
Exactly.
To me, it's making these investments that, let's face it, any investment is tough to make.
Mm-hmm.
Marketing, SOPs, videos, whatever it is, any investment in your business is tough to make, except investing in the owner where you pay them.
Yeah.
I enjoy those. I enjoy that investment.
I agree.
But really, any investment you make is a certain amount of pain.
Yeah.
And kind of realizing back to this, it's the same as the difficult conversations that we talked about a number of weeks ago. That is, once again, that investment.
Yeah.
If you put that off, you're going to pay for it a lot more later over time with interest.
You are.
The same thing here. So do you want to pay for this with some time now or your sanity over weeks and months and years, and possibly your marriage and possibly your kids' sanity and possibly there's all these costs to this that so many people just don't take into mind because once again, it's not black and white in your general ledger or profit and loss statement.
No.
Of which most people don't look at those anyways.
No. They don't. They should. But you look at it as intangible. Well, I can't see it.
Correct.
No, but you can.
Correct. It's that taking that step back to realize, and to me, like this crept up on me in terms of my work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
I got to a point very unhealthy with it where it's like, hey, as soon as I wake up till whenever I go to bed, done. It just wasn't healthy. But I'm like, hey, this is productive. I'm getting things done.
I'm making progress.
Look at all the check boxes I am checking off. But once again, it was the other thing was it was so ridiculously inefficient for me. So yeah, it's that making sure that I was able to invest the time and invest a small amount of money, even just to get other people doing the things to move those things forward. You've got some great quotes in here.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about burnout.
Yeah, we do. And busyness.
And busyness. I still love, like, there was one time a number of months ago, I think it was when you were doing your podcast, you talked about, like, you are having pajama day.
Yes. I love pajama day. For those of you that don't know, pajama day is when you are reaching the edge of burnout and so you like quarantine yourself to the couch in your pajamas and you do nothing. There is no work touching. There is no chores. There is nothing. You might interact with humans. You might not.
Just by the way you said that, we know your preference that day.
My preference that day was not.
But I remember because you said, hey, I'm feeling like I am getting close to burnout. I am having a pajama day.
Yeah.
And no, it 100% makes sense.
Yeah.
Something else about work-life balance that so many people don't talk about is if you're setting this expectation as an owner.
Yeah.
What are you showing your employees?
Well, if the leader's fried, the culture follows. So it's really easy.
Yes.
Simple. I mean, when you run at full tilt, you teach your team that rest is a weakness. And even if you are running at full tilt, they don't always need to know how many hours you're putting in.
They shouldn't.
So they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. I mean, I have at this point in time, we're working on a project and I am working on some things that are taking me out of the office during the day. They don't need to know that right now I'm working on the weekend to make sure that everything's done. I schedule some things so that they don't know. Burnout isn't just a personal problem. It becomes systemic when it goes unchecked at the top. And that's where you get short, you wind up with a temper, you have low tolerance for people when you should have, you're training a whole bunch of people, you have low tolerance because you're burnt out. That's not going to go well for your organization. And you've got to be able to say what's urgent versus important.
Sure. And that's where culture starts to fall apart. And that to me is the thing that I kind of wanted to touch on with that, because if you start to approach things that way, the culture that you have tried to build, first off, falls apart.
Yeah.
The second off is like what you talked about, working the weekend stuff.
Yeah.
To me, it is my goal that everyone that works in my organization feels supported.
Exactly.
They don't need to feel like I'm working harder than they do.
No.
They need to feel like they are supported and that they have a stake in it.
Yes.
If they have that, they don't care how much I work.
No. And harmony really starts with modeling. So if you don't set boundaries around your time, neither will anyone on your team. So you may decide that there are certain things that I'm going to do and then I'm going to have to do other things at times where maybe most of the world isn't working and my family doesn't have an issue with it. That's okay. You don't have to tell everybody else.
Said.
Yeah. And wear it as a badge of honor. Like that's the other part of this is agree with you 100%. It's how do my employees feel supported? They don't need to see me every day to know that they're supported. They also need to know they can reach out. And the other expectation around having employees is I expect to have or to own the time that I'm paying for. I don't expect to own the time that I'm not paying for them. That's something that I think a lot of small business owners, you're like, I expect everybody to love this organization as much as me. That is wrong. Do not do that. They are never going to love it as much as you because you're a psychopath because you're an entrepreneur. Like don't expect people to love it the same way that you do. You eat glass every day. That's to be an entrepreneur is to get up every day and eat glass. You pay other people so that it's more palatable for you to eat glass every day. It is not their job to eat glass like you.
No. The one thing that I really like that you said with that too is the badge of honor thing.
Yeah.
To me, the number one way for employees to feel supported is I don't need to text them back instantly,
No.
but I need to text them back.
Yes.
I don't need to answer the chat instantly,
Yes.
but I need to answer the chat. As long as it's done in a timely manner, they feel supported.
Exactly.
It's all it takes.
Mm-mm.
All it takes. How do you say no?
No.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
So you have to remember that no protects your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a leader, saying yes to everything is often fear-based.
Oh, 100%.
We fear we're gonna miss out. We're gonna let somebody down.
I don't want to miss that opportunity.
We're so important. They asked me to do this. They're asking you to do something that has nothing to do with you, that has nothing to do with your vision and values. Stop it. Stop saying yes for your ego. You don't want to let somebody down. You don't want to seem unavailable. You cannot lead effectively if your calendar is built around pleasing people instead of protecting your priorities. And that was something that took me a long time, more pajama days than I want to admit. And I mean, it was hard lessons of learning to say no, because I am a chronic people pleaser. And when when I started doing community work, everybody wants you. You're like, okay,
100%.
sure.
100%.
And then you realize everybody wants you. And that's not the revenue producing activities that you need to be doing in your business. So it's like, okay, how do I balance that? And then you also realize that some of the things that you're doing it's not that they don't align with you as a family, but they're taking you away from your family.
Correct.
So like when Steve and I got married, 2 months after we got married, he drew a little picture and put it in my office. And I wish I would have saved it. And it was me. And it was like, hi, I'm Chrissy. And I love nonprofits more than my husband. I was like, that might be true.
That hits home.
I did hit home. It did, because I realized like, oh my gosh, I am spending 3-4 nights a week out. And I mean, we're newly married, newly blended family. I mean, Team Awesome Sauce, like we were humming, but at the same time, like my family wants my time. So we went down to, we sat down, realigned our values, and our rule is, as a family, 1 night a week out. So 1 night a week, whether it is a community event or it is a networking event, 1 night a week out, and then everything else is at home. So we can have dinner at home as a family. Now, as our kids have gotten older and gotten into high school and junior high, it becomes a little different.
Sure.
Then it becomes
sports, other items, and you're getting pulled in 10 different directions.
And then it becomes we're home by 7, as opposed to we're home by 4.
But in the same sense, those are family involved activities.
They are.
It's not just, hey, punted the kid to soccer practice, baseball practice, and band practice. No, it's you're there.
No, and being present in that time. Because then it was, well, okay, I'm home, but I'm returning emails. I'm still handling all these conversations. I'm doing all these other things. And then it turned into put your phone in your purse or put your phone upstairs to charge. And you've got 4 hours where you're not going to touch anything.
Sure.
So it's learning to say no came with some painful lessons of like saying yes too many times. And I think that's for most business owners, it's just going to happen. And I can say,
100%.
Don't do what I did. You're all going to do it.
You're all
going to screw it up, and it's totally fine.
It is one of those lessons.
You have to learn it.
Yeah,
by doing.
I was about to say it. Like there are so many times where I have slammed my hand in that screen door.
Yeah,
and I'm like, you idiot! Why did you do? And like when I look at my calendar, some weeks, like this week, the calendar's crazy. And then someone's like, hey, can you do this evening? And I'm like, I'm finally like to the point where I'm like, no. A year ago, I would have said yes. Let's try and do the thing. Yeah, sure, we can do it in an evening. I've got 3 things in evenings this week.
Yeah.
That have all been scheduled for months. They're good things, and they're things that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
But when someone says, well, what about Friday evening? No, sorry. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, I can't do it.
And I used to get annoyed with people that would be like really clear on their boundaries. And I was like, what do you mean you're not available? You must not care. No, they actually care more.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because they're willing to say it.
Absolutely.
Some actionable steps.
Yeah.
I want you to start with this first piece that we have written down here.
Okay.
Because this is more you than me.
So it's defining your ideal day. It's really, and not even your ideal day. It's your ideal week. What does life look like?
Because my ideal day is on the motorcycle.
That's great for you. How do you run your business so that you can feed yourself so you can stay on the motorcycle? That's it.
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how to ride for a living yet.
Yeah. But it's visualizing what does it look like both personally and professionally, and give yourself the ability to have it change. Like my ideal day has changed multiple times over the last, I would say even 5 years. Like even the last quarter, it continues to change because I'm getting more direct in what I really want and what I don't want and where time is and how time is precious. I mean, we've got a daughter who's getting ready to graduate high school. So time hits different right now.
Sure.
So we're doing a lot of the last firsts. So making sure that I am present because I haven't been present for all of those things. And
Sure.
so it's that revisit. So defining your ideal day. What's the next one?
Audit your time.
Love that
Go
one.
look at your calendar because everyone's like, I don't do this much. And then when you go back and look at your calendar, you're like, uh-oh. We're a Google shop.
Yeah.
So like I can classify everything. I can color code everything in Google.
Yeah.
And then when you step away from your calendar, like look at it from across the room on a small screen and you're like, oh, that's a lot of green.
And your phone will tell you what you're spending your time on too.
100%. So look at those two things. I mean, very simple.
Yeah.
Like how much time are you spending on Facebook?
Yeah.
You're going to look at it and be like,
Yeah, trust me. Create those limits.
Yep.
If you can't create them, find somebody who can create them for you.
Yep. Document the process too of what you're doing with SOPs. Make sure that you go through step by step with those. Get those documented down. This next one's once again, the next two I'm leaving to you because you're probably at a spot in your journey where you're going to be better at these than I am.
All right. So the first one's delegating with confidence. So, managing the fear of letting go of control. Delegate it. Control feels safe. It's not scalable. Letting go of control isn't about walking away. You equip and you trust people to do things. So once you have the system in place, you've got to empower your team to take ownership of those tasks. And I would say, if you don't trust them and you just want to check on things, create an after action review. So that's 3 simple questions. What went right? What went wrong? What would we do differently? Treat it like the Navy SEALs if you really want to make sure that you're delegating in the right way. And the last one, and I know this one's good for you, it's scheduling your time away. Set a time. I don't care if it's 6 months from now, Josh. Like, what's your week going to be that you take and you just go ride and you don't deal with anything?
It's one of the reasons why I enjoy the riding because there's my phone's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
There is a dial for the rev gauge and the speedometer is digital and that's it.
Yeah. And you've got to honor those commitments.
Yep.
So when we're going, like a great example with me is when we go on vacation and I know that I'm going to have to work on vacation, it's 1 hour. And I tell my family, this is the hour that I am working. I'm getting everything caught up and then I am yours for the rest of the time because there's going to be times where we travel where I've still got to do some work. But it's how do you create good boundaries around it? Because there's always going to be an emergency. So you've got to trust your team to be able to handle those things. They do really well in emergency situations. We've had issues where I have been out of town, other places, and they're like, hey, we just want to tell you we handled this. I'm like, okay, that's wonderful. And then you praise them, you give them all of the accolades and you think, oh my gosh, I didn't have to deal with that issue while I was away.
Something else to add to scheduling time away, do something with a friend. The reason why I say that is once you've committed to a friend, you
can't let them down.
Right. It's tough to back out of that.
Absolutely.
It's easier to back out of something with a family because you're with them
all the time.
Like, not all the time, but yeah.
This pays for everything. So you have to acknowledge that it needs to happen.
If you do something with a friend, you have now committed to them like, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to show up.
Ideally one with better boundaries than you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. 100%. What's the biggest sign you see with other business owners where you're like, oh, they are ready to burn out?
So they're building their house in the weeds of their business.
I like that.
You can pitch a tent there occasionally, but generally don't build a house in the weeds. So
have a well-kept construction site.
That's it. So what's the simplest way to start creating your first SOP?
Just pick the one thing, find why, and what is the first thing you do? It could be click the mouse. Great. Step 1, open the computer. Great. Put the first step down. Start doing the thing. Write everything down. You'll be in good shape.
Nice.
To everyone that is maybe starting to take control of their own life.
Good job. I'm excited for you.
That wasn't directed to me, I don't think.
It was.
I am getting there.
I know. It's good to see.
It's been funny too to watch you over the past year and a half that we've worked closely on stuff to see your development in the same way. It's been educational, it's been inspirational, and it's been entertaining too.
Thanks. Yeah.
Because there's been the Pajama Day story is a really good story. That's one that may get it brought up on your other podcast, which we'll have to direct people to when it happens. Mm-hmm. That being said, if you want to learn more, go to businessfixpodcast.com. That episode 16 that we talked about, that's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's like, live. Yeah. Yes. We did the harmony thing there. Awesome. Yes. Well done. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias at The Business Fix. A review and a subscription go a very, very long way. We love comments.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want to hear about next week.
Yeah.
What is leadership?
Oh boy.
We are going to define this mysterious term that so many people get. We may not be able to tell you exactly what it is, but we can give you a whole lot of information on what it isn't.
Absolutely.
Do us a favor. Take care of yourself if you can. Take care of someone else too. We will see you very, very soon.